Gudetama is the most unmotivated Sanrio character ever. He's become the hero for all of us procrastinators and lazy people. But what's the real story behind this lazy egg? And is there more to this yolk than just being lazy? Alright, first things first, what is Gudetama? Is it an alien, a blob of sunshine? Actually, just by looking at it, you can probably tell Gudetama is an exhausted egg yolk, and with a very iconic little butt. Looks like a white sheet, and then he's got sleepy looking eyes, an oval mouth, and no teeth. Everything about him screams, I'm tired and I need a nap. Relatable. You'll usually find Gudetama lounging on his own egg white, just completely over it. This egg yolk's attitude has a motto to match, which is, it's hard to get cracking. Yes, I agree, Gudetama. Sure, it's a little pessimistic, but it's refreshingly real, which is why I think a lot of people love Gudetama. I mean, let's be honest, we've all had those days where we just want to cozy up and wrap ourselves in an egg white blanket. I get it. Is that why Gudetama is so popular? Are we all a little lazy on the inside? Perhaps, but more on that later. By the way, do you like my Gudetama headband? I do know, by the way, that it is a headband for like washing your face, but I figured it fit the lazy vibe. Like I'm too lazy, like Gudetama, to even remove my face washing thing. So, what do you think? One of the most common questions about Gudetama is, what does his name mean? Well, Gudetama's name is actually a mashup of two Japanese words. The Gude part of his name comes from the word gude, which just means someone who's totally lacking enthusiasm or motivation. Fitting. And the Tama part of his name comes from the Japanese word tamago, which means, drumroll please, egg. So fitting. Egg, egg, egg. So yes, when you mix gude with tamago, you get Gudetama, the chillest, most unbothered egg in the entire kawaii universe. His name really says it all. Gudetama's whole vibe is, I'm here, I guess, which we'll get into his personality a bit more later. So hold on to your egg whites. Is that corny? Now, Gudetama might seem like he came out of nowhere, but he was actually cracked open by Sanrio designer Emi Nagashima. And the idea for Gudetama actually came to her while she was cooking. She was making tamago yaki gohan, which is a Japanese dish with white rice, a raw egg, and soy sauce. When she cracked the egg yolk just kind of dropped. And it reminded her what people look like when they are just so tired of life. And thus, Gudetama was born. What a relatable origin story, just cooking after a long day and wanting to be left alone. Of course, being this relatable is one of the things that makes Gudetama so popular, which we'll talk more about his popularity in a bit. Okay, now, here's a fun fact. Every now and then, Sanrio holds design contests amongst its own employees to come up with the next and newest character. In 2013, they decided to go with a food-themed contest. And guess who came in first place for that competition? It was not Gudetama. It was another character called Kurumi-chan, who we'll talk about a bit later. Gudetama came in second, but Sanrio decided to put out merch for both Kurumi-chan and Gudetama. Gudetama's merch took off, like did so much better than the first place winner. So yeah, I guess Gudetama was technically released in 2013, but he doesn't have an actual birthday like some of the other Sanrio characters. I guess every day could be Gudetama's birthday. So yeah, we don't know his star sign, but I think if you were to take an INFJ personality test, he would probably be an introvert. What do you guys think? Do you relate to Gudetama as much as I do? If not, which Sanrio character do you relate to most? Let me know in the comments below, and you'll be automatically entered to win one of these exclusive Blippo water bottles. Are you thirsty? Do you drink water? Loves it. The butt. This is such a detailed butt. Okay, now let's get into one of the other most asked questions about Gudetama, which is Gudetama a boy or a girl? The answer is Gudetama doesn't care. And why should they? They're too lazy to have a gender. Does that make sense? I don't know. But yeah, Gudetama is genderless. Sanrio actually made it clear that Gudetama doesn't have a specific gender because it comes from an unfertilized egg. So there you have it. Gudetama is just out here unbothered, non-binary, and unapologetically eggy. I don't know what that means, but it sounded fun. Gudetama actually isn't the only genderless Sanrio character. There are others like Kurumi-chan, the character based off of a piece of salmon who we mentioned earlier. We'll be doing a deep dive on Kurumi-chan soon, so that will be an interesting one. So we've already established that Gudetama is lazy. I mean, that is the whole brand. But there is a little more to this egg than just zero motivation. Gudetama has zero hobbies, zero energy, and really zero interest in, well, anything. But there is one thing that gets him excited, and that thing is soy sauce. Yes, soy sauce. In Gudetama's Netflix series, you can often see him chugging soy sauce like it's coffee. And yes, he does have his own Netflix series, which we'll talk about a bit later. Sleepy, sleepy, sleepy as Gudetama. Gudetama might be lazy, but that doesn't stop him from having a ton of friends, so let's meet them. First up, we have Shakipio, a hyper little chick who runs around with an eggshell as pants. Then there's Quail, who, as its name implies, comes from a quail egg. Next is Hardboiled, who has thick, angry eyebrows. And then there's Gudetama, who's basically a stinky, rotten egg who has the personality of a grumpy old man. He's the polar opposite of Gudetama, who's basically an egg yolk with an ultra-relaxed zen vibe. Oh my god, Gudetama is too popular. Let's just list out the rest of his friends. There's Rock, who's been fried in hot oil and is super tough. Gudetamago, who looks like a baby but actually has no age. Mentaiko, or Kadro, who talks in a Hakata accent. Hakata is a part of Japan in Kyushu. And then we have the most interesting character, which is Fake Tama, who isn't actually an egg but is a human dressed up as an egg. You'll catch him in Gudetama's YouTube shorts a lot, and honestly, he's oddly cheerful. And for the rest of the gang, there's Ganguro, a burnt fried egg, Clock Madam, Tamago Dofu, and DJ Gudetama. Counted weird again. Why am I always counting weird? Now, let's talk about how Gudetama went from lazy yolk to superstar. Every year, Sanrio holds an official character ranking contest, and Gudetama consistently ranks in the top 20. Recently, he's up to 16th place. That's right, being lazy hasn't held this egg back from being adored worldwide. And because Gudetama has been so popular, it used to have its own section here at Sanrio Pearland called Gudetama Land, where there were tons of Gudetama airline-themed decor. Unfortunately, Gudetama Land isn't here anymore, but you can still get a glimpse of his infamous behind at the Pearland gift shop. And you can still get Gudetama popcorn from the Gudetama popcorn machine here. Fun fact, Gudetama even has his own airplane that goes from Tokyo to Taiwan, and he used to have his own train too on the Shinjuku line. Talk about excellent branding. So many people have been looking at me with this. They're like, you know, that's like to wash your face with. I'm like, I know. Now that I have my Gudetama egg pasta, let's have a chat about Gudetama food. So Gudetama isn't actually high enough in the popularity ranking to have his own cafe here in Japan. However, he does have one in California, and it looks so good. I'm dying to go. You can sometimes find special Gudetama food items like this pasta at Pearland or the ice cream at the Sanrio Cafe in Ikebukuro. There's also a limited Gudetama shaped ice that we had recently at the Sanrio Characters Garden Cafe in Ueno that was so good. That cafe was such a hidden gem. We actually have a whole video coming out on it, so make sure to look out for that one. And if you're looking for non-food related Gudetama goodness, there's plenty of it. As we mentioned before, Gudetama has his own show on Netflix. It's called Gudetama, The Excellent Adventure, and it was a huge hit. It actually got a 100% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, so no bad eggs here. That's so good. Why are you so popular? So now, like the rest of us, you've fallen head over heels for Gudetama. And now you're stuck in the ultimate dilemma. Should you go for the plushie, the socks, the backpack, or maybe the stationery set? Honestly, why make such a tough decision when you can have it all? The world of Gudetama merch is surprisingly massive for a character who ranks in 16th place. There's everything from egg-shaped pillowcases to phone cases, mugs, and slippers, and you can even get a Gudetama full-sized onesie. You can easily deck yourself out in lazy egg-themed gear from head to toe and still have room for more. I mean, look at me. How cute is this Gudetama shirt with a bacon blanket? Plus, let's be real, does anyone ever regret having too much Gudetama? No such thing. Which character do you think has the best merch? Personally, I think it might be Kuromi because of the whole Kuromify the World project that's going on right now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you might want to check out the next video. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Let me know if you think I look ridiculous in the comments.